Union County Board of Education work session. This time I'd like to bow your heads for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Pledge allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Fury, we have some special recognition.
Yes, Mr. Turner, we sure do. Tonight, we have several students in attendance who have recently earned recognition in regional and state events. Students, when I call your name, please come forward to accept your certificate from our school board chair, Mr. Almond Turner. Our first student to be recognized this evening is Lucas Montalvo. Lucas is a second grade student at South Salem Elementary School, and he recently won first place in the apprentice group at the Georgia Regional Braille Challenge held at the Macon School for the Blind. He competed in 3 sections: reading comprehension, spelling, and proofreading, and he walked away with the top honors. Congratulations, Lucas. Next, we will recognize our students who recently won first place in the Griffin-Risa Regional Young Georgia Authors Competition. Students, when I call your name, please come forward to accept your certificate. Tanner James. Tanner is a kindergarten student at Oak Hill Elementary School, and he won first place in the kindergarten competition with his submission, The Boy and the Two-Headed Dragon. Congratulations, Tanner. Allie Danilchuk, or is it Danilchuk? Danilchuk. All right, Allie Danilchuk. Allie is a 3rd grader at South Salem Elementary School, and she won first place in the 3rd grade competition with her submission, Alice in Winterland. Congratulations, Allie. We had one other winner in the Griffin-Risa Regional Young Georgia Authors Competition, but she could not attend this evening. We congratulate LaShawna Nelson, a 2nd grade student at Oak Hill Elementary School, who won the 2nd grade competition with her submission, Visiting Heaven for a Day. So we Next, we'd like to recognize 2 very musically talented students, both of whom were selected for the prestigious All-State Chorus. David Castillo. David is an 8th grade student at Cousins Middle School. He participated in 2 auditions for the All-State Chorus. In the first audition, he was required to sing 3 scales, a solo, and sight read 3 examples of music for 8 measures each. After passing the first audition, he was required to learn all 6 pieces of music chosen for the All-State Chorus and sing them with a passing score of 75. He scored a 94.9%, and as a result, he became the only middle school student from Union County School System selected for the All-State Chorus. Congratulations, David. Wesley Raines. Wesley is an 11th grade student at Eastside High School, and he was not only selected for the All-State Chorus, but also the All-State Sight Reading Chorus. Wesley participated in 2 required auditions for the All-State Chorus. At the first audition, he had to sing a solo, sight read 3 melodies, and sing major, minor, and chromatic scales. After scoring high enough to proceed in the selection process, he then was required to learn all 6 songs selected for the All-State Chorus and sing random selections from each one by himself before a panel of judges. Wesley received a perfect score at the second audition. and as a result became the only Newton County School System high school student selected for the All-State Chorus. In order to make the All-State sight reading chorus, Wesley had to sing at sight 5 8-measure sight reading examples of collegiate level melodies at an audition. Over 500 students auditioned for this choir, and Wesley was one of only 100 singers from across the state who were selected. Congratulations, Wesley. Our final group of students tonight includes some of the very best robotics students in the state. In fact, they recently won top honors at the Georgia VEX IQ Robotics State Championship and have, as a result, earned the chance to compete in the World Robotics Championship in Louisville, Kentucky later this month. First up, we'll recognize the team from Liberty Middle School. Would Jamari Edmonds and Jeffrey Lowe please come forward? Jamari and Jeffrey are 8th grade students at Liberty Middle School, and they won the Teamwork Challenge at the Georgia VEX IQ Robotics Championships. In the Teamwork Challenge, they used their student-designed robot to move hex balls from one side of the field to the other to score points. At the end of the match, the team scores points by parking robots on a bridge that hinges in the middle to tilt back and forth. The Liberty Middle School's team's performance during the qualification round was so good that they were paired in the final match on a team with the #1 seed, and the two teams worked together to win the Teamwork Challenge and earn a trip to the World Championships. Congratulations, Jamari and Jeffrey, and good luck at the World Championships. And if you have never seen a robotics competition, it is something to behold, and the idea of not only did they have to get their robots from both teams up onto the ramp, then they earn more points when they balance it. So they had to balance it to earn the majority of points as well. So it's a pretty complex process. Next, we'll recognize the robotics team from the Newton County Theme School. The Georgia VEX IQ Robotics Competition also provides teams the opportunity to showcase their skills in a STEM research presentation. This year, the STEM research topic was robotics in your community. And Team 11028F, better known as Girl Code, won the top prize along with the chance to participate in the World Championships in Louisville. The team consists of the following Newton County Theme School students. And when I call your name, if you'll please come forward. Dakia Knight, 6th grade. Caitlin Wilbur, 6th grade. Lauren Icarino, 7th grade. Katie Oakley, 7th grade. Grace Watts, 7th grade. And Erilyn Everett, 8th grade. Congratulations to our Girl Code team, and good luck to you at the World Championships, and certainly congratulations to all of our amazing students who are here this evening and who have represented our school system and your families and your teachers and your schools. They did very, very well. We are so very proud of you. At this time, that concludes our recognition.
Thank you, Ms. Ferry. This time I'd like for the parents and other relatives that's here with the students, would you please stand, please? And as representatives of the Board of Education and Ms. Ferry, we'd like to give you all a round of applause for your continued support in making these children what they are today. And we know that you will continue to doing that and make them leaders of the future. Again, thank you very much for your support.
And you had theme music when you stood up.
I know that this next portion of our meeting is very important and exciting, but if you all would like to leave at this time, would be a perfect opportunity to do so.
We need to have Wesley Raines sing. Wesley Raines, come here right quick. Because you've been here 3 or 4 times for music. That is really great. Because I'm very observant. We need to have you sing one day. Because I've seen him like 3 or 4 times for music. Yeah, so I'm serious. We're going to have you sing one day, okay?
Have you come in the recognition?
Yeah.
Just like this, and instead we'll do recognition and then maybe get you to sing a few little bits.
Is your dad alive? What's your dad's name? Scott. Okay.
And we're not playing either. Just in case you think we're playing. We're not playing.
Mom and dad work, so you'll be able to get in touch.
Thank you. And again, congrats.
Yeah, I want to hear him sing. Like, I mean, 3 or 4 times this year. I don't need to hear you sing.
Well, I played trumpet for you. We don't have any public participation during this hearing. Okay, having done, I understand we have some members of the Leadership Newton County present with us this evening. If you all would please stand, please. Thank you for your interest in learning more about Newton County and Covington, Porterdale, and all the other counties here, other cities here. We really appreciate your attendance. I need approval of the agenda, please.
So moved.
Have a motion by Ms. Baker. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Johnson. Any discussions or questions? Having none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Motion carries. I need approval of the minutes. Motion by Ms. Coggins. I have a second by Mr. Johnson. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Motion carries. We have no operation reports. Curriculum.
The operation and curriculum reports will be provided on April 25th. We do have our enrollment report. The enrollment report, as of March 31st, 2017, we have 19,713 students. This same time last year was 19,727 for a difference of 14 students. And there is no presentation this evening. That concludes the superintendent's reports.
Okay, great. Thank you, Dr. Lockhart. We have no old business, so we'll move to new business. Item A.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The superintendent recommends policy IHE be adopted as revised. This recommended policy change will be under review until it is voted upon at the April 25th, 2017 meeting of the Newton County Board of Education. Background information: the school district's strategic waiver plan allows flexibility in the promotion and retention policy regarding 3rd, 5th, and 8th grade students' performance on the Georgia Milestones end of grade assessments. The revision to policy IHE removes the requirement that a full placement committee be convened when a parent, guardian, or teacher appeals the decision to retain a student in grades 3rd, 5th, and 8th if he or she does not perform at grade and or achievement level on the designated Georgia Milestones end of grade assessment. Are there any questions?
Any questions by any board members?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes, sir, Ms. Perry.
Just for purposes of clarification, the item will stay on the table until the May 8th meeting.
May
So
8th.
it's a 30-day.
Okay.
Just for the record and for purposes of clarification.
Thank you, Ms. Fury.
Good evening, everyone. I
Good
have
evening.
items B and C to present today. Item B, the superintendent recommends the approval of the system portion of the 2017-2018 elementary student handbook. Changes by page number are noted below. In the attached document, additions have been noted in blue and deletions have been struck through in red. The system portion of the elementary handbook has been reviewed over the past month, and in addition to minor typographical errors and changes to dates and times, a sample of revisions that are recommended follow. The table of contents and specific page numbers will be finalized once the board has approved these changes. You can see there that there are a few changes that we've highlighted. Page 4, just updated language in the mission and vision. We had to change the names of the exams in the mission and vision statements, and a few other changes there. It was updated. Update the school calendar. The principal contact information will be updated to the most current information prior to print date. Page 27 is a clarification of the Georgia Milestones Performance Standards, changing it from terms passed to a term that says achieves at least level 2. There is an update to the nutrition information, and an updated acceptable use policy is within that change. Item C, the superintendent recommends the approval of the system portion of the 2017-18 secondary student handbook. Changes by page number are noted below. In the attached document, additions have been noted in blue and stricken through. Deletions have been stricken through in red. The system portion of the secondary student handbook has also been reviewed during the past month, and in addition to minor typographical errors and changes to dates and times, the following revisions are recommended. The table of contents and specific pages will be finalized upon approval. These are similar changes: the updating the mission and vision, the school calendar, principal contact information, acceptable use statements, and school nutrition information has all been revised.
Thank you. Any questions as it relates to items B and C? Okay, item D.
Good evening. In item D, the superintendent recommends the annual renewable contract for an integrated business solution within the transportation department be awarded to Genuine Parts Company, doing business as Napa Auto Parts of Atlanta, Georgia. And it's recommended that be renewed for an additional contract period, with the effective date being April 26, 2017, and expiration date of April 25, 2018. All parts under this contract and supplies are provided at a discounted rate, averaging approximately 12%. In summary, the benefits from the utilization of this solution include eliminating the carrying cost of inventory, reducing transaction expenses, increased shop productivity, elimination of obsolete stock, and overall reduction in operational expenses. The estimated contract value is approximately $1.3 million. This cost will be paid for with budgeted general funds. And that concludes item D.
Thank you. Mr. Barr, any questions or discussions?
Yes, I have a question.
Mr. Johnson?
The cost of this NAPRA is, how does the vendor is paid to perform these functions?
Through invoices, they invoice us through the parts. It's a just-in-time process. So as we utilize the parts, we pay them for those parts. It keeps us from keeping a great deal of inventory. The way we previously did it, we had a lot of inventory, and we found that that inventory became obsolete, but we had no responsibility for the inventory at this point.
My question is directly, the employee on location, how is he paid or she?
Napa pays the employee
Out of what cost?
out of their cost of doing business. They set up a store there, and we buy from them.
on this, let me give you an example. Napa don't have all the parts that's required.
Right. But they have the vast majority of those parts.
Well, I don't know how many, but if there's a part that's needed for a bus and Napa don't carry it, Napa then called the vendor, that's the owner of that piece of equipment. Then Napa in return mark it up. Why can't we, especially on high volume, high cost item, call directly to get that particular part?
Right, and what we have found is that even if we call directly, that Napa has such a greater purchasing power than we do as a local school system. They have the purchasing power of their entire organization behind them, and they're still able, even with the discount, even with the markup, to provide the parts at a discounted rate, cheaper than we can provide them.
I disagree, sorry
Okay.
to say.
Okay.
But take for example, your wheel and brakes, drums, Napa don't make that piece of equipment. And when there's a need, Napa goes to the company that supplies that piece of equipment. And the markup is unbelievable. It's ridiculous.
Okay, I've not found that to be the case.
Okay, well, another thing, last year, we had an incident where there was some purchase made that I questioned. And the reply we got back from you was that you could purchase this equipment, which was capital twos, capital items. And you explained that it was in a contract that we have signed that would allow you to purchase capital equipment. And when this purchase order is asking for repair equipment for the bus, not capital equipment, is that clause still associated with this request?
That's correct. And in the memo, it identifies that as parts and supplies and other accessories. I believe it's in the memo there.
But it doesn't identify capital twos, capital expense.
Right, but it's certainly parts and supplies that we need in the
I
shop
agree with
to
your
use.
part, I said capital expense.
Right. I would not classify that as a capital expense.
Well, okay. Well, I'd ask the superintendent to clarify that, please. Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions or concerns? Okay, move to item E.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The superintendent recommends that policy EEE be revised to comport with the newly developed federal administrative regulations. So, as background, the United States Department of Agriculture has issued the final ruling addressing wellness policies as required in the Hunger-Free Healthy Kids Act of 2010. Policy EEE has been modified to address the requirements mandated by this act and the final rule. The revision will be reviewed as required by Board Policy BD and the recommended changes acted upon by the board on May 16th. The new requirements must be implemented by July 1, 2017. The revised policy EEE follows this memorandum.
Okay. Any questions or concerns in discussion? Having none, we'll move to item F.
Good evening. Item F is contract for East Newton Elementary School plumbing renovations. Superintendent recommends the contract for plumbing renovations at East Newton Elementary School be awarded to Mid-Atlantic Renovation Incorporated of Norcross, Georgia. Invitation for bids C912-06 was opened on March 30th, 2017. The project consists of replacing galvanized domestic water piping with new copper piping throughout the building or in parts of the building. It also includes the associated masonry, painting, repairs to floors and ceilings that'll be required through the demo and replacement of the water line. Upon approval by this board, the project would be slated to begin after school is out and will be completed before school starts back in July. The bids were evaluated on the contractor's lump sum bid for the entire project. 6 vendors participated. Their bids are tabulated on the sheet for you. Upon evaluation, it was determined the bid submitted by Mid-Atlantic Renovations Incorporated offered the lowest cost of the school system. The contract value is $38,995. The cost will be paid for with budgeted FY17 general funds.
I have a question. Mid-Atlantic, has there been any references with them? Have we done business with them before?
I don't believe they've done anything for us, but we did check their references, and they have accomplished similar work successfully.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm looking at the spread on the cost submitted by the vendors, and it raises a concern that I have, and maybe it's in the scope of work. Do you have what size pipe and the number of the footage of the pipe that's going to be installed?
I don't have it available tonight. We did a whole set of plans and mechanical drawings and fixture replacement, or the fixture connections, sizes of pipes, lengths, amount of wall to be demoed, flooring to be replaced. It was a full set of plans and specifications.
So you know the amount of pipe that's going to be used?
That was, yes, sir. That was in the, yes, sir.
Do you know the footage that's going to be cut in the floor
There will
for
be
the
no.
concrete?
There's none. The pipe's going to be installed in the ceiling.
Pipe's going to be installed in the ceiling.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I was misled. The masonry that's going to be repaired, what masonry are you referring to?
They're going to have to build chases inside the rooms. So the pipe will be installed outside the existing wall, right next to it.
I
And then
understand.
they'll enclose that with masonry.
Well, could you help me understand, unless it's a mistake, why we got 270? Did you make that distinction in the bids?
It appeared that they were not very interested in getting this
Right,
project.
exactly.
Well, on the other side of that, you would have the same problem. If they're low bid it, then we got another kind of problem. That's why I'm concerned, because the spread is so great here.
It is a big spread.
And what will we do if we do find out that they lowballed us? What's our options?
The low bidder,
Yeah.
well, we require performance bonds, payment bonds for each contract. So if they were to fail on performance of the contract, we go to their bonding company, pull their bond, and hire another contractor to finish it at presumably no cost to us.
Okay. One last question. How did we determine that this school requires the pipe retrofit as opposed to another school?
They've been having discoloration of water in this area due to rust.
We don't have filter systems on that water?
There's no filter for that, no, sir.
Is this existing at other schools?
Not that I know of.
Do we have any intention of checking?
Well, the rust is, the discoloration's apparent, in the sinks, in the water fountains.
I understand that, but we have other schools. Do we have the same condition that caused the rust in this particular school?
So the section that we're replacing is the original wing of East Newton. It was built in the mid-50s,
Okay.
so it's been around about 60 years. They used galvanized pipe at that time. It's no longer used in construction for this purpose. We do have a few other places in the school system that have similar aged buildings, but we are not currently experiencing the discoloration of the water through those pipes that I'm aware of.
And that's my question. Go back to the question I asked. Why do we have a filtering system for this particular wing of water for kids?
Well, it would be, the current piping is underground in the slab. There's not a readily accessible place to put a filter on. You're talking about the main line? I'm not sure I understand your question.
The water gotta come in the pipe someplace. So if they're coming in, gonna circulate through the building, the primary location would be as the water enters the building, if you have a rust problem, a lead problem. All right, wrong?
I guess you could install a vault, an underground vault with some sort of filtering system. That might be a possibility.
Okay, we'll have to come back and visit this, because I have a concern that we may have other schools with a water problem, and we don't know about it. Unless we need a check and balance system of some sort.
I have a question, but don't we do a list of schools like every year or every so often? We have somebody outside of the school system to actually do a walkthrough, isn't that correct? And we have a list of schools, what kind of repairs they need, and it's based on, it's prioritized as well, correct? Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I know Mr. Johnson mentioned about a filter. You would have to put the filter in front of the pipes that's rusting. So even if you did that, you still would have to replace the pipes, because these pipes are old and they're collapsing, and you still would get a lot of rust coming through that. With the filter, it really wouldn't work. So you're gonna have to replace the pipe.
So the way it works, if you think about an artery in galvanized pipe, it closes down as the inside wall rusts. So just like an artery that gets clogged, the rust deposits on the inside, and it's constantly being generated on that type of piping system. So
Right, okay.
the water coming in from the county road, from the county water system is not rusty.
Right, exactly. It'd have to be placed where it entered the school, but you still have to replace the pipes. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Item G.
In item G, the superintendent recommends the attached items be declared surplus and disposed of per board policy DO, and that is all for item G.
Any questions? Item H, we will be taking action on this item.
Yes. Item H, the superintendent recommends the approval of personnel recommendations made during executive session.
I need a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Coggins, second by Ms. Baker. Any questions or concerns? Having none, all in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same. Motion carries. Other matters of interest?
I do have some corrections, but I know you want to go ahead and go first.
Yeah, if I may.
You certainly may.
Thank you. With the approval of my recommendations and items, I'm pleased to announce the appointment of Dr. Swade Huff as the principal of Indian Creek Middle School. Dr. Huff holds a Bachelor of Science in Mental Retardation and Masters of Education in Emotional Behavior Disorders, a specialist degree in Curriculum and Instruction, all from Piedmont College in Demorest, Georgia. Dr. Huff earned his EDD in Educational Leadership from Georgia Southern University, located in Statesboro, Georgia. Dr. Huff has also completed an add-on to a certificate in Educational Leadership through the University of Georgia, located in Athens, Georgia. His experiences include psychiatric specialist in the United States Army Reserves, teacher, department chair, assistant principal in both elementary and high school settings, and for the last 5 years, Dr. Huff has served as the principal of Statham Elementary School in Barrow County. Dr. Huff has been instrumental in creating a culture of high expectations in the schools in which he has worked. He is looking forward to the opportunity to serve the students, staff, and families that make up the Indian Creek community. I am very confident that Dr. Huff will build on the successes experienced by the Indian Creek Middle School team. Unfortunately, he was unable to be here tonight due to he has children, and his children are engaged in after-school activities, and so he was in charge of taking care of them this evening. If I might, if I could just keep going.
Yeah, go ahead.
So April is the month for everything, that we celebrate everything, it seems as though. So I'd like to just acknowledge that April is Occupational Therapy Month. April is also Prevent Child Abuse Month. April is also School Library Workers Week, and actually it's a month, and then tomorrow is the day that we celebrate our or was it today, April 11th, a media specialist. And then National Assistant Principals Week is this month as well. So we've got a lot of celebrating going on in our district, and we like to recognize our team members for their hard work and dedication in all of those areas.
Thank you, Ms. Ferry. Ms. Baker, you got something?
Yeah, I have two corrections to agenda items for minute purposes. Item A, we had stated would be reviewed at the May 9th. Actually, that's gonna be a little short of the 30 days. That'd be 20, so it'd be May 16th. It's 28 days, I think, on May 9th.
Okay.
Is what I calculated. And then item C, Mr. Berry, Ombudsman. Where did Darren go? Oh. I thought you left. I'm sorry. Ombudsman is still on the handbook.
Yes, ma'am, we'll fix that.
Okay. That's the only two.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Baker. Mr. Bailey? Ms. Johnson? Ms. Coggins? So if all minds are clear, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Baker, second by Mr. Johnson. All in favor, aye? Motion carried. We stand adjourned.
7:30.